And let's go live. This meeting is being live streamed. Got it. And we go. Share that screen. Welcome, everyone. I hope we're doing well. My name is Craig Whitney for the younger men in here who don't know me. I am the founder of the Second Chance Man and also the Second Chance Man himself. I hope we're doing well for a Thursday night. Excuse my raspy voice. I have got a flu. Had this rotten head cold for about 3 days. However, instead of being an absolute coward and chucking a sickie, I made an agreement to show up here tonight at 7:00. And here I am, regardless. Even after a long day on the road, I'm still here. All right, let's get this show on the road. Hey, welcome, Empowering Self-Talk. All right. So, this evening, what's our expectations for this evening? Hope we can hear me. Drop a comment if the audio is there. What is our inner voice and the impacts of it? How our beliefs drive our self-talk? How a man's ego sabotages his self-talk? That's an interesting one. It doesn't get brought up in a lot of circles because we're men, right? We don't like our egos being challenged. Sometimes they can be a bit sensitive, yeah? In a healthy masculine way, I'm talking. And then I'll show you 3 steps on how to change your state and self-talk. And this is one step along a journey of steps of a 12-step program to teach men on how to give themselves a second chance. And of course, at the end of this, if you stick around to the end, hashtag either watch live or replay, leave a comment down below. 5 men I'm looking for, and I will give a free 30-minute strategy call at the end, valued at $497. All right, let's go. So just a little bit about me. I'm Craig. I'm the founder of this slowly growing organization, founded in 2020 during the home detention situations we had. Founded the Second Chance Man, decided to launch, and it's been a slow journey ever since. Over the last couple of years, a journey of resilience. The last sort of 6 years, I've been recovering from a total mental awakening, not a breakdown. Attempted suicide and survived. Obviously, someone out there has bigger plans for me to impact lives out there instead of being a quitter and caring of life. And that's a journey that I'll sort of share on other platforms in much more deeper detail. And of course, the stuff I'm presenting to you tonight or teaching in this masterclass is ICF accredited. I'm an ICF accredited coach. I call myself a transformational educator for obvious reasons. I am taught under the International Coaching Federation. So what is the International Coaching Federation? In the last 5 years, coaching has become a mainstream profession. So what that means is, like psychology, like counseling, a board has been designed. You can't practice psychology without being accredited and certified. You can't practice counseling without being certified and accredited under PACFA. Same APS for psychology here in Australia, and APA, I think it is, or I think for the United States. However, the ICF is international, and as soon as the universities come online with coaching as a registered graduate diploma, this industry will become regulated, and the media is getting excited out there with uncertified coaches, and they already target lawyers quite recently, and psychs and counselors and coaches will be mixed up in the process. So it's an integrity piece and a credibility piece. I want to make sure that I'm certified when I'm working with people. I know what I'm doing. I'm confident and confident, and I'm also insured as well, just to protect each other. That's me. That's about me. Have you ever? This is a magical question, isn't it? Performance. We're men. We're results orientated. We get stuff done to provide on our daily basis. Perform poorly due to negative noise in the mind. What's going on in here? What's the itty bitty committee saying inside here that's driving down your results in a day? What's the boss saying to you on the outside that's feeding the mind on the inside? Is he giving you a hard time? Is he riding you? I'll use that as a term, yeah? A lot of blue collar men in here, a lot of men who work jobs, a lot of men I connect with on a day-to-day basis are regular men, tradies, laborers, storemen, just the average Joe Blow trying to provide for their family, being responsible, working a job. And managers ride them on a daily basis because they're obviously not performing. So have you ever performed poorly? Excuse my words. Or let's flip the switch, performed out of this world because of a great voice inside. You've aced your A game. You've gone to the gym. You've smashed that set. And then some. You come out energy. You've gone back and done a few more reps. Have you ever? I did an awesome set this afternoon. I jumped back on the weights. I've been off the weights the last sort of 3 days because of this flu has just paralyzed my immune system for some reason. And I got back on the weights today and had an awesome workout. I feel alive. I feel amazing, apart from this head cold. But anyway, so there's our inner empowerment or the itty bitty committee. I think I just gave a brief explanation on the previous slide. The itty bitty critty committee, or I don't want to swear here, the itty bitty criticism committee, is the disempowering one. Obviously, it's the one who tells you that you are not good enough. You are not worthy. You can't do this. I'm a quitter. It's too hard. It's too painful. The reps are getting harder. My body's getting slower, even though there's 45 seconds left on the clock from a 2-minute set. All right. Etc., etc., etc. Or the inner empowerment voice is like, yes, I'm a winner. I can do this. I've got this. I'm going to plow through this. I'm going to win the day. The day's about daily wins. Yes, that kind of stuff. Can you see the difference? And this is targeted at the younger men, particularly, who may have stumbled across this or may not have in one way or another, let alone picked up and read a book. Inner speech is the outcome of a developmental process. And this was taken way back in the day. Lev Vygotsky's theory of cognitive development. This is what started the whole inner voice in the academic world. And of course, there's been a fair bit of research done over the years since it was first conceived in 1934 and again in 1987. We've got psych scientists, we've got neuroscience also having a good key implementation into this, because the studies all conclude, and I've read about 6 of these magnificent studies, both historical and current, that what we're saying to ourselves determines the output of our results. It's plain and simple. I don't have to go into a detailed essay there. The personal development experts are on cue with this. What you say to yourself either empowers you or disempowers you. It's that simple. Now, the old way of doing things, okay? The old way, the current, that maybe you right now sitting here watching this presentation, this masterclass, the old you, the current you. I know definitely the old me was beliefs. I had a lot of self sabotaging beliefs that added to my talk. I said it earlier, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not loved. Fill in the gap. That's driving whatever it is that is disempowering you. I hear a lot of the younger men saying, I'm confused. I'm not manly enough. Well, what is that? What does that mean? You know, some key questions there, because the question of how to be a man these days is so conflated, and there's so many different lenses out there to look through of what a man is. It's a belief, and the beliefs generally are learned through an experience somewhere way back in our early childhood. Okay, next slide. A man's ego or the man's saboteur. This is the one about the men. This is quite interesting. I was reading some studies. It's a bit of Freud actually touches on this, and some sort of current science studies, social psychology and performance in the managerial. There's a study done a few years ago where they put two groups of 100 managers each, and they observed the behavior, kind of like the Pygmalion effect done in the 70s with school kids with two different classes. I'll explain it. Is they got two groups, and in one group of 100 managers, they totally pumped them up. They empowered them. They told them they can do this. They can lead. They're the best at what they do. And the other 100 managers is they told them they were unloved. They were unworthy. They pretty much criticized them and put them down to the ground. Yeah. Does that sound familiar? You may have experienced either of this. And then they observed both groups' outcome the same way they did the Pygmalion effect with two different classes of students back in the 70s, and then examined them, put them through exams, tests, except with these managers, they observed them leading their teams. And they found that the managers that were empowered through physical self-talk to rewire the brain, to overturn the ego, led their teams for a much more effective outcome against the managers who were criticized and told what to do, literally ordered, challenged their ego. And this is where the ego comes in. As a manager, you know what to do subconsciously, but are you doing it? Now I'll throw this question to a lot of the men, and I ask myself continually on a regular basis, because I was a man probably 6 years ago now who went through my own awakening, having half a library of personal development in my head. However, when it all hit the fan, nothing was implemented. So it comes to the question or the statement to know what to do and not do. We only rise to the levels of our training, not to our hopes, dreams, or egos. Egos crash and burn. Would you agree? Let's go to the next slide. Does this sound like you at all? Was there ever a time where you may have been challenged somewhere along your journey and your ego's put up a natural defense mechanism, and you've gone, I know this. I already know this, but are you doing it? And I'll talk to the younger men here as well, because they may not have a clue here, and they may be sitting there You know, there may be some men out there beating their chest already at me. It's like, I already know this. I already know that. You personal development gurus are rah, rah, rah. I was like, okay, cool. You know it. However, how's that impacting you? And are you doing it? It's really key importance here. Now we flip over to the new way of being. Changing states changes outcomes. I'll repeat that. Changing states changes outcomes. What does that mean? To change our self-talk, we must change our state from a negative self-talk to a much more empowering self-talk. There must be a change of state. And to do that will change the outcomes. You could be a poor performing staff member one day in an itty bitty pity committee. The manager comes along, sees you, and gets right up you. I'll use a term here. I haven't coined it. However, I've experienced it over the years. Being ridden, gets up you, rides you, rips one through you, snap out of it is the term. And then you got a choice: change your state and change your outcome from a poor performing employee or risk a consequence. And there's heaps of other areas in your life that you may experience this. And it starts with changing our self-talk. And that comes with acute awareness of that. So, we've come to the 3 steps. Do we want to learn on how the 3 steps on how to empower our self-talk? Maybe you're a young man out there, say a labourer in a loading dock somewhere, who's wondering what to do. His ego's on the line, his job's on the line, and he's got a family to provide for, and he doesn't want to lose his job. This could be crucial. Maybe there's a young forklift driver in the crowd, or a tradie, a responsible man who's providing for his family, who may be looking just for some simple guidance to empower himself. And this is not some self-help, woo-woo, voodoo magic. These are logical steps that have had proven, evidence-based approaches behind them. Just remember, woo is number 34 on my strengths theme. So if there's one anti-magnet to woo and charm and hype, it's me. I'm the skeptic. I'm the one who sits at the back of the room with my arms crossed, my legs crossed, my fingers crossed, and my toes crossed. I'm the second one in line from the data analyst. Okay. And the data analyst is the one you don't want to meet because they're the critics. Okay. So 3 steps on how to empower your self-talk. So the first step is to examine your limiting beliefs. This comes down to acute awareness. I shared this step on a post in the group the other day. I gave some value. Awareness. Awareness is the first step to any sort of change or transformation with any mode of modality, whether it's therapy, okay, coaching, counseling, okay, or if you even want to work something a little bit more geared towards a workplace, growth, professional growth, acute awareness of your situations, your blind spots. Your blind spot may be that self-talk. And underneath that, there may be some driving beliefs or some limiting beliefs there, right there, which are driven by What's underneath that? Some classic questions there that you may have to look at. The second step. Now, this is where you change your inner monologue. And this is where you take an outside look of what's being said. And would you say that to your best friend or your significant other? What's going on here in the moment? Would you put that out at your partner, your significant, the person you love, I should say, family members, children? Man, I know some days in here I can have some deadly conversations that I wouldn't repeat to nobody at all. I don't know about you guys out there, but it ain't about unicorns and rainbows and fairy dust, that's for sure. Okay. So it's all about changing. Become a friend to your inner voice. Support them. Tell them they're okay. And then change it to something a little bit more empowering, from I'm not to I am. That's where it starts. Become your own best friend. If you can't become your own best friend, nobody else around you can help you. In layman's terms, we call this a victim mentality. Yeah, we've all heard that. Even to the men out there in the world who've never read a self-development book out there. Do you know what a victim mentality is? It's all about the poor me. Poor me, my job, rah, rah, rah. Fill in the blanks. I had a hard day. The world is against me. My job is against me. My boss don't like me. My partner's got the poops with me, whatever. Victim mentality. That state has to be broken because that does not conceive growth. And we as men, we need to be constantly growing to be responsible for ourselves and the ones we love and the world we see around. We are responsible, right? Responsibility comes with constant change. Okay. And the third step is my favorite because I'm glowing like a light bulb. Smile. Smile and glow to the world. And I mean that, guys. Nothing like a warm smile. Actually, I'm going to share some stories. Some of the highlights of being, the courier work I do, I walk into hospitals and pharmacies and I just light the place up. Now you think, whoa, how does he do that? Because I'm just so energized. I'm full of energy. I'm like, you could call me the clown of the workplace. Like I'm a totally different personality when I'm on the road to when I'm at home. At home, it's like, yeah, leave me alone. I just want to be in my own sort of space. The world can just take a break, whatever. Natural introvert, right? Out in the road, it's like, yeah, I'm going to see some people. Let's do this. Let's rock. I walk in, I glow. I'm glowing, man. I'm glowing like a light bulb. And all this negative energy just pings off me. Hey, I'm just glowing. I just G the place up. That's my personality. Like, rah! As much as negative my work is and some of the places I walk into, I just have this force field on where I just charge in. It's like, man, no one's getting me today. I'm just going to blow this place up, eh? Like, whoa! Energetically, of course. A few customers have taken offense over the years, but hey, I'm only responsible for what I say, not how others react, right? I look after myself and I get my job done. And I get paid somewhat reasonably well for it. So that's me, man. That's just an example of radiating energy. And I tell you what, smiles attract smiles. Yeah. We want more positive people in our life, don't we? Start smiling, guys. Smile more. And there's plenty of studies out there that have confirmed this. Smiling, it releases dopamine in the mind and all sorts of other chemicals. Excuse me. All sorts of other chemicals that gives you a gift of radiance, a feel good moment. You're levitating. A really good smile as good as a warm cuddle. Yeah. Smile more. Let's go. Smile, sunshine. Come on. Let's go. The focus is to change state and to empower yourself. Bear with me. Oh, my throat's dry. I do apologize. I'm trying not to cough. Empower yourself. Do you own a mirror? Do you get up in the morning, you go to the bathroom? Do you look at yourself? Do you brush your teeth? Do you look at yourself? I do. Why? Let me introduce you to someone. So it's a very simple exercise, guys. Pretty much walk into your mirror and look at that person standing in front of it. Who is that? Let me introduce you to yourself. Yourself. And why? Sorry. And why do I suggest you standing in the mirror? Mirror work is one of the most important pieces of work you could ever do on yourself. Getting in front of that mirror, calling yourself forward with self-love. And this is not some self-help sort of hypey, wishful thinking. This stuff works. I know, because I was a critic when I first experienced it, but I tell you, once I got in front of that mirror and I started calling myself forwards and outs and sideways, calling the bitch out myself, things started to shift. And then I started filling myself with self-love. Okay. Now I'm not going to do some sort of dance for you over it, but that's perspective. Get in front of that mirror or go buy a mirror. The mirror is where it starts. The war starts with yourself. I am enough. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am loved. Repeat these mantras. I do every morning and every night before I go to bed. Every morning when I wake up, go brush my teeth, and every night before I go to bed. Because I am enough. I am enough. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am loved. And this is, of course, by Louise Hay. Some of the older men may know who she is here. For the younger men, I think it was about the 1970s or something. She was in her prime, pretty much the self-love expert. Mirror work, getting in that mirror, empowering yourself. Nothing else will empower you if you cannot empower yourself. So what's next from here, guys? So we've pretty much covered, what is empowering self-talk. We've covered some useful studies on it. We've also covered how a man's ego sabotages his results. Okay, to know what to know and not do. Yeah. We've all been there, right? And we've also covered 3 unique, excuse me. Oh, let's try again. We've also covered 3 unique steps on how to empower your self-talk by changing state. And these are only 3, guys. There's heaps out there. There's heaps. But these three that I know work because one, they work for me. And I know a lot of men around me who practice these steps on and off, and they have similar results. And they can work for you too, if you choose so. So, what's next from here? So, what I'm offering now is for those who have hung around to the end, I'm offering that's right, 5 men only, a free 30-minute strategy call, valued at $497. And in that, we'll cover what we went through tonight, plus more. We will design a plan, a strategy, detailed strategy based on where you are now, on the 12 steps on how to give yourself a second chance as a man. As I said, there's 5 spots available only, and spaces are limited. Time is limited. I only have a short time slot in the next sort of couple of weeks. I go for surgery soon, so I'll be pretty much unavailable or limited availability. So I'm looking for 5 men. 5 men who are hungry enough to empower themselves full of self-talk. Hungry enough to step up, say, hey, I want to grow. Spaces are limited. There is no obligation. There is no cost. It's a free 30-minute strategy call. So I'll hang around here for a few minutes, a bit of Q&A. See where we're at. Self-talk, it's important. It's the deciding point between our results as men. Can't be stressed enough. Just look in your workplace. Look at the results. I'm no expert at culture. However, top performing teams is something I resonate to for some unknown reason. And poor performing teams is something that I run miles away from. That's just an observation of all the different workplaces that I run into each day and I blow up. Hey, any questions? Leave some comments below. But hey, the first 5 men who comment below, let's get a conversation going and a phone call. Remember, I'm only looking for 5 men. Anyways, guys, I'm going to sign off, have some dinner, and rest up for the night. Now, because it's an Easter weekend, long weekend, I wish you families happy Easter. Spend some quality time with some loved ones, hit pause on reality for a few days, and just rest and enjoy and be responsible. Be responsible men. Be the loving men that we're put on this earth for, to our families. I know I'm going to be certainly having some physical rest. Spend some time with your loved ones. I wish you all a happy Easter. Be kind. Anyways, I'm checking off for the night. I can work out. There we go.